Did anybody ever doubt yourself because of your dyslexia, and did you ever doubt yourself?
Well, quite an amusing story is that age 50, we had the biggest private group of companies in Europe, and I had a board meeting, and in the board meeting, somebody gave me some figures for one of our companies, and I said, "Is that good news or bad news?" And one of my directors looked at me and said, "Richard, you don't know the difference between net and gross, do you?" And I went, "Okay, well, you know, I hadn't admitted it to anybody, but I didn't." So he pulls out a bit of paper, and he brought some crayons in, so he colours the piece of paper in blue, and then he puts a net in the blue sea, and says, and then he puts little fish in the net, and he says the fish in the net, they are your profit at the end of the year, and the rest of the sea, which are outside the net, that's your turnover. And suddenly I went, okay, I now know the difference between net and gross. But I think the good thing about that story is you can build the biggest group of private companies in Europe without knowing the difference between net and gross, because what is a company? A company is simply creating a product that makes a difference to other people's lives, and if you can create a better company than other people that make a difference to other people's lives, the money will come in, and then you can find somebody else to count the money up at the end of the year, and hopefully more money's come in than's gone out. Once I knew the difference between net and gross, I realized we weren't making quite as much profit as I thought, so I thought it was the other way around. So.
My website at Friends of Quinn, our philosophy is own it, and you seem to own your dyslexia. Are you ever nervous talking about your dyslexia, and when did you feel comfortable in your own shoes?
From my 20s, I started talking about the fact that that I've discovered that I was dyslexic, and I did it on purpose because I think it's important for other, especially young kids who've been told that they're dyslexic, to see that that successful people can get through it, and that if they follow their particular dreams, they follow what they're good at, that they can be even more successful at what they're good at than others. So and there are so many people like myself who've excelled in their individual professions, who have been dyslexic. So I think it's really important that people who are dyslexic get out and talk about it.
People are really scared of this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to send out a message that it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And in fact, it may help you.
Yeah.
Because I've read articles, and one of them was even titled, "Can dyslexia actually help succeed your career?"
Being different is definitely good,
yeah.
and you should be proud of whatever you are.
Yeah, being different, you can go to space.
Yeah, exactly. You can get other people to build the spaceships. You don't have to build them yourself.
So Richard, I would really like to thank you for being here and taking your time to do this interview with me.
Pleasure. Great. Thanks a lot.